What is up guys, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're covering some more r/am I the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe and maybe that notification bell too. I had someone in the comments ask me yesterday if I will only be covering Am I the Butthole videos in the future. At the moment, generally, this is the topic that I cover, but when I do get extra time, I do cover other subreddits too. So hang on for those. When I do get a moment, I will be posting those as well. And thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to come and watch these videos. It really does mean the world to me, and hearing how it helps you sometimes is just absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for letting me know. And with that being said, let's get in to today's stories. Much love, guys. Our first story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for leaving after my husband for inviting his parents to our first wedding anniversary? Me, female 26, and my husband, male 25, got married a year ago. I'm the kind of person that really likes celebrating special occasions that are important to me. Before my husband and I got married, he promised to take us somewhere nice on our first wedding anniversary. And since my wedding was an absolute disaster, thanks to my in-laws, mother-in-law to be specific, I saw this as a chance to have another special day to celebrate my relationship with my husband. But things have been rough the past months. I'm 5 weeks pregnant and our whole plan changed. My husband suggested we have a dinner at a nice restaurant that his mum picked for us and recommended. Okay, now she's trying to get involved this year too. Anyways, he showed me pictures and the type of food they serve and asked me to pay. It's an expensive restaurant. I suggested we pick another, but he insisted. I agreed, and once we got there, I found out the menu wasn't there, which was weird because I was ready to order. About 15 minutes of my husband stalling, his parents walked up to our table, dressed nicely and sat with us. I looked at my husband for explanation, but he avoided me to tell his mum the food they wanted was ordered ahead. His mum immediately made backhanded comments about my hair, dress, weight, and didn't stop. I was literally mad. She and her son started drinking while my father-in-law started talking to me about politics. The final straw was when she cancelled the cake I wanted and replaced it with the one her husband liked. I got up, told my husband to hand me the keys or I was going to walk. He tried to calm the situation. That's when his awful mum started talking about me, acting inappropriately. She told her son to just hand me the keys because she didn't want me to embarrass her. I left. An hour later my husband came home, started berating me for overreacting and ruining dinner. I yelled at him what the fuck was he thinking, inviting his parents. He said they paid for it, so he had to invite them. Started arguing saying that he saw nothing wrong with what he did. He didn't even tell me and argued how I was being awful to his family. I went to my mum's after he insulted me and I've been feeling bad ever since. His mum texted me but I ignored her. You know, I was coming in with a not the arsehole view straight away anyway. Who invites their parents to like a wedding anniversary if it's not discussed prior to the event, you know? But why are you with this guy? So he set you up knowing that you clearly don't like his parents very much because he didn't tell you that they were coming, and then they just rock up to the table. Food is already ordered, so you didn't get a choice. They changed your cake and she's berating you about your hairdress and weight and didn't stop. And the husband's just sat there, what, doing nothing with all this, twiddling his thumbs. What an idiot. And what, as I said at the start, why are you with this guy? It just makes no sense. Not the arsehole in my opinion, but let's have a look at the comments below to see what they say. Final Commission says, not the arsehole, but why did you get married to him in the first place? Also, unless he commits to serious couples counselling and work on demeshing himself from his mum, you might not want to be married much longer. Half Poop says, if it was me, I'd leave him now before having a life of regrets. One audience says, not the arsehole. So my in-laws were similar. My husband did some of what your husband did, and we're still married 10 years and 2 kids later, so I hope you listen to my advice. 1. Marriage counselling ASAP. 2. Find a trusted family member on your husband's side, if possible to tell him his parents are batshit crazy. 3. Individual therapy for you, for everything that is going and to decide how to proceed with your pregnancy. You're only 5 weeks along and you have options. I really hope it gets better. And OP replied to this saying, I doubt if he ever realised that still having his mum do things / paying for things is not acceptable. She uses this as a way to control him / us. They showed up without him saying anything because they paid for dinner, so they thought they could hold us over our head and expect me to just smile and accept being disrespected like that. It's my first anniversary. This is the very first time I experienced this and she, mother-in-law, ruined it. So, Now I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 1. And our next story is from Lost in Lies 1. Am I the arsehole? Wife got my sister fired. I am currently fighting with my wife. She has a high position at a university. She has a PhD and has little respect for people who don't have an education. My sister is the same age as my wife, and she is also very successful. Probably a bit more than my wife. She doesn't actually have the education my wife does, but she managed to be successful. She does lie on her resume saying that she has a BA degree. Recently, my sister was hired as a bigwig for a company in NYC. My wife was so angry when she heard about it. She said that my sister was a liar and a fraud, that she should never given the job. Flash forward 2 weeks, my sister calls me to tell me that she was let go because someone called the office to let them know she did not have a BA degree. When I brought this up with my wife, she admitted that she did in fact call my sister's job to let them know. I was stunned with this news. My sister is responsible for taking care of our sick mother, and she is an incredible person. She has worked over 2 decades in her field and has been very successful. I'm aware that she should not lie on her resume, but the company hired her after a background check, and at the end of the day, who the fuck cares? I had a huge fight with my wife about butting into my sister's business. I pointed out that she herself has lied about her experiences at times, and that she should have stayed out of it. Now my sister is unemployed and I have no idea how she's going to pay for our mother's nursing home fees. I have little money and my wife certainly isn't going to help. This decision by my wife is causing unbelievable ripples in our family. My sister helps pay for our niece's college. She's paid for our other sister's medical care after major surgery. She's also helped me out by paying for my rehab 3 years ago when my insurance wouldn't cover the full 30 days. She also donates 10% of her income to St Jude's Children's Hospital. She's a good person who wasn't able to afford college. My wife is livid with me for being angry with her. She says that I should support her and understand that this is a major issue for her. People lying about degrees, etc. That it's my sister's fault for lying, and that maybe now she'll get a job that she's actually qualified for. I have not told my sister that my wife got her fired. My wife has threatened to leave me if I tell her. Am I the arsehole for being angry at my wife for doing this to my sister? Am I the arsehole for not telling my sister how this happened? Oh, can anyone else smell that? It smells like a hypocrite. The wife has got your sister fired by doing this, and then says she will leave you if you tell the sister. So what does she want you to do? She want you to lie? Oh dear. Ah, come on, man. Now don't get me wrong, what the sister did lying on her resume about it is not the right thing to do. But if it's not like putting people in danger or anything, then I don't see what the issue is. If she's able to do that job, if she's able to complete it competently and well, then what's the issue, you know? I'm someone, as my real job, I work as a content creator. I'm not qualified in it, it's all self-taught as a hobby, and I get by just fine, and I think I do my job pretty well. So I don't see what the issue is with these kind of things. Who knows, I may be totally wrong with that one, but I don't think you're the arsehole for being angry at your wife for doing that to your sister, definitely not. But you will be the arsehole if you do not tell your sister what happened. I think she deserves to know, and you know, let your wife handle it the way she wants to. She doesn't sound like a very nice person from this post anyway. There's obviously something you love about her, but from what I'm getting, the gist in this post is not a very nice one. So it could go either way on this one, depending on how OP acts. But let's have a look at the comments below to see what we can find. Weaponized Apology says, not the arsehole. If your wife threatens to leave you for telling others about her actions, that's a pretty good indication that she's the arsehole. Also, she's a giant arsehole for throwing around divorce as a means to manipulate your behaviour. She'd rather divorce you than own up and feel embarrassed by her shitty actions, which speaks volumes about her. Sorry, man. Jewel and Majestic replies to this saying, agree, wife wants her SIL to be held accountable for lying, while simultaneously refusing to be held accountable for her own decisions. Not the arsehole. Macaz001 says, not the arsehole for being angry at your wife, but you would be the arsehole if you don't tell your sister and stay with a horrible woman who treats others like that. One lied about a degree, but from what you've written, is a very kind woman who gives back to her family and the community regularly. The other is a jealous harpy who couldn't stand someone without a degree doing well in life because it brought up her own insecurities. Lee Allen 3 says, okay, so it's totally wrong of your sister to lie about her BA, but unless it's a profession where people's lives or livelihoods are at risk, then I don't see it as one of the 7 deadly sins. Your wife though just sounds like an awful person, and she herself has lied about her experience before. Ugh, people in glass houses should not throw stones. As for your relationship, I think you need to take a long hard look at the person she is. This particular hill she has chosen to die on, for the principle of it, has actually caused you and the people you love increased hardship. As with any of these stories, I am sure there is more to it than this. That she is mad at you for not standing by her is full on priceless. You are not the arsehole. And Sea Monkey Ranch says, if your wife wants to act like the degree police, she needs to be upfront about it. That was underhanded and fueled by envy and hate. Your wife sounds like a true narcissist and needs to get a grip on why she feels so threatened. Now, I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think about this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 2. And our next story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for telling my adopted sister that my parents don't actually love her? Throwaway because my friends and family know my actual Reddit account. I'm aware how awful the title sounds, but you have to know my side of the story before making any judgment. I am currently 16 and I'm living with my parents and sister. My parents officially adopted her 2 years ago because her mother passed away, and my mother promised her that she's going to take care of her daughter. They had problems adopting her because some of her actual family wanted to keep her, plus my parents had income problems for a while, but 2 years ago they managed to adopt her. I won't go into much detail about this as it's irrelevant. Ever since they adopted her, my life got so much worse. My parents give me no attention at all, and all the attention is given to my smaller sister. Not only that, but I'm supposed to help with my parents around the house because they need to spend much time as possible with her. And of course, whenever my sister has any problems and my parents aren't around, I'm supposed to help her or I will get punished. Also, everything that I have must be shared with her, except the room and my phone. I got sick of this. 2 years passed and nothing changed at all. 3 days ago, my sister came into my room without knocking while I was talking to my friends about her, and she heard me. I told my friends that the only reason my parents adopted my sister was because they were close with her mother, and then when she asked me if my parents actually love her, I told her no. Ever since that day, she stopped talking to everyone and is locking herself in her room and crying. The good thing is that she's not telling my parents why she's upset, but I think they will eventually find out. I told my friends about it and they said I am the only one in the wrong here and should seriously consider apologising. I however don't think I should, and if my parents find out I will be punished really bad because only she matters to them. Edit, thank you for all the cruel messages in the comments and the DMs. I got that I am a horrible person. I got that my parents don't love me. I got the reasons why my parents adopted her was because they wanted to replace me so badly. And I got that they are desperately waiting for me to turn 18 in order to kick me out. You don't have to repeat these all the time because I got it. Reading this, it does come across pretty bratty, you know. It does sound pretty horrible the way you've treated this girl who's come into your house, lost her family and lost everything. But at the same time, I can understand the way you're feeling as well, and if it's built over 2 years, this resentment's built up. I can understand that the way you're kind of feeling, you know, putting myself in your shoes, I can totally understand it. The way you dealt with it, however, is totally wrong, because this isn't the girl's fault, you know. So telling her this and probably ruining everything she thinks about your family now is not the way to go about it. In a slight arsehole way, this is your parents' fault, you know. They should have paid you as much attention as the girl, you know. They shouldn't just invalidate one over the other, if that makes sense. I personally think that OP, they're totally allowed to feel resentment and jealousy if they've been treated this way for 2 years and not had the same as this girl is getting, this new person is getting into the family, you know. And I can also understand why the parents are wanting to try and make everything special for her. I mean, this girl just lost her mum. So it's just a huge balance issue here. And I'm going to go with a controversial everyone sucks here. Apart from the adopted sister. The adopted sister is innocent in all this. She hasn't done nothing the whole time. You know, she can't control the way she's being treated, and she sounds like a lot younger than the 16-year-old. So, although I think the 16-year-old is right in the way they're feeling, I think what they said was hurtful and unneeded, you know. Have a bit of sympathy for the girl, but the parents at the same time need to take a step back and look after OP at the same time, you know, and give them a bit of that love back as well to stop this resentment going any further. But let's have a look at the comments below to see what we can find. YKNJS says, wow, you're the arsehole 100%. Let's break this down. Because you feel like your parents have paid you less attention since your sister was adopted, you took a child who lost her goddamn parents and told her that her adoptive family don't love her. Because you have to do a few extra chores and share your stuff, you shattered the world of an orphan child have managed to build up. You should be ashamed of yourself. If you're old enough to have a phone and post on Reddit, you're old enough to have some goddamn empathy for a child who literally lost their mother and their whole world with it. Talk to your parents, tell them what you did, apologise to your sister, and tell her you're bitter, jealous, and full of shit. Ask your parents to arrange therapy for you as soon as possible, because holy shit, you need it. Your parents did a good thing. How would you like it if they had died and you were her age and you were sent to live with a new family whose resident child told you that nobody loves you? OP, pull your head out your ass, stop being so self-absorbed, and try to understand why what you did and your entire attitude right here is disgusting and hurtful. If you can't be kind to your sister, just leave her alone. Boo You Boar says, are you serious? You just lost our mother and you were jealous of sharing attention and love. Major, you're the arsehole. Maybe ask your parents for more attention and understanding in a communicative manner. Totally in the wrong here. What the fuck? Fryet says, you're the arsehole 100%. Couldn't you talk to your parents about your feelings? Her mother died and your family is all she has left. It may be hard to see your parents paying more attention to her, but a simple open-hearted conversation to your parents about this would have been much better. Laura Kashaw says, you're the arsehole. You clearly resent her because your parents adopted her and it doesn't seem like they gave you any indication that they don't love her. If you were giving her a fact, you literally heard them say, maybe you're getting everyone sucks here, but you were cruel to someone who lost their parents and hasn't done anything to you. If anything, talk to your parents about unfair treatment. Don't take it out on your sister, who is really your sister by the way, legally. Try to have some compassion for this girl who has lost her parents while you still have both of yours. Even if your life is a little more difficult, her life is probably significantly worse as well without you shitting on her. Now, as the post says, it's an overwhelming, you're the arsehole in this story. However, I still think OP is validated to feel the way they are if they've been neglected for 2 years as well. They've basically lost their parents to this adopted child. And I'm not saying that's the adopted child's fault, because they are totally the innocent party in this. I'm saying the parents need to take a step back and look, they have both children here. They need equal amounts of love, not just neglect one for the new one, you know. I know she's lost her family and it's not fair, but it's also not fair to this child, and they're acting bratty because of it. This is why they're at this entitled attitude is coming out, because of the way they've been treated. It isn't just appeared overnight, I don't think. Well, that's the way I'm getting it anyway. So I'm going with, and everyone sucks here, apart from the adopted girl. Call me out on it if you want, but that's what I'm going with. And our next story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for not letting my siblings do fun things with my father's girlfriend? I, 18 female, have struggled my entire life with my mental health. I'm recovered for the most part, but I still have lingering anxieties/social phobia I'm trying to work on. I'm the second of 4 siblings, all female. After being married for almost 15 years, my father suddenly found himself single, and he got really depressed. He goes on a few dates, and then he meets his now girlfriend we'll call M. M has 2 sons. Especially in the beginning, my father was at M's place all the time. I felt like he was trading us in for them, who are everything that we are not. So as you might expect, feeling this way, I wasn't exactly jumping at the opportunity to get to know them. But my siblings on multiple occasions have spent time with her then. And then they broke up. Now, one other relationship later, and they're back together. For real this time. So I have to find a way to get along with her, but it's hard. After everything that's happened, I still don't know her at all. But it seems like everyone else is now long past that step. It takes me longer than most to get comfortable with someone new, but now I'm 10 steps behind as well. Every once in a while they invite us to do something, and I usually refuse because it makes me anxious. But that kind of causes me to get left behind. I've told my father that I'd like to slowly build towards being more comfortable with them, to close the gap. And in order to do that, I'd like to try and spend more one-on-one time with her, with as little stresses as possible. So preferably no family activities for a bit. He and Em agreed that was a good idea. We planned a date to go over to her place. The week before, we went on a trip. Suddenly Em asks if we'd like to go kite surfing. So I point out that I thought we weren't going to do these things, at least for now. And I thought that was kind of the end of it. But then I find out that they planned to do it anyway. But on the day, I travelled back for an exam, so I wouldn't be there. I was hurt and I felt like I wasn't heard at all. I tried to explain again that I don't want them to keep doing stuff with everyone but me, because I'd just fall behind further. The week after that, we went to her place. I didn't expect much, but definitely not to be berated with questions to the point of tears. She attacked my social skills for not being able to get along with her. She asked me if I don't care about the fact that my father is sad that he doesn't have all 4 of his daughters with him whenever I don't want to come. And she asked how I could take away an experience from my siblings just because I didn't want to do it. Whenever I ask anyone about what to do, they just tell me, you can always just say yes. Am I just being difficult and keeping everyone back by wanting to take it slow? A lot of people seem to think so. Am I the asshole? This is verging on a everyone sucks here to just a you're the asshole. I think everyone would suck here because of the way she confronted you in front of people and said and questioned your social skills and things like that. I don't think that's an appropriate thing to do to people. That would be why everyone sucks here, but that would be the only reason, because I'd say you're the arsehole because it sounds like you're the one who's almost purposely distancing yourself, which is normal when you're getting to know people and stuff. But when they're offering to do fun things, which is the best time to get to know someone, a fun activity, and you're saying no, and then you don't want anyone else to do it either because otherwise you'll fall further behind, I think that would make you the arsehole for not understanding, everyone else does want to do it because it's a fun thing to do. You can't stop people from doing that just because you feel like you're going to get left behind. And I understand social anxiety will play a huge part in this, but you can't expect everyone to just go with your speed. Everyone deals with social anxiety in different ways. You can't just expect people to all work around you all the time, Maybe occasionally, but not all the time. But let's have a look at the comments below to see what they say. BN0503 says, you're the arsehole. I don't really understand this mentality at all. You sound very selfish. You want everyone to stop seeing each other so you don't feel left out, even though you're the one who won't go on the family outings. Why can't you just keep going on your dates until you're just able to join them? I don't see why everyone else should have to suffer. It's not like you said for just a couple of weeks or anything either. Is it supposed to just last an indefinite amount of time until you decide everyone can start doing stuff again? Hello Wello says, you're the arsehole. If you don't want to do some activities because you don't feel comfortable with them, you can say no. You can't stop others to do the activities and guilt trip them because they didn't take you after you refused to go. Webby Vanderquack says, everyone sucks here. She shouldn't have confronted you in the way she did, and I can see how all of this has been really difficult for you. But I don't think you can ask your family not to do things like kite surfing just because you personally find that difficult. You can certainly exercise your right not to go, but you can't ask everyone to suspend family activities until you're ready for them. I'm sorry if that seems harsh. I know it's been hard for you. Now, I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of the story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 4. Once again guys, thank you for being here. You are truly appreciated, and I hope I get to see you in the next one. Take care guys, much love, and have a great day now. Goodbye.